Hello, hello, sweet honeybees, and welcome to the Electric Honey Pot, where energy is the nectar of life. My name is Autumn, and this whole project is about the human experience, the good, the bad, the ugly, and all of the magic that happens in between. Today, I have the pleasure of getting to have a conversation with Joey here. We're going to learn a little bit about him, learn what he's been through, who he is as a person, and let's just see where we can go.
What's up?
All right.
Where do we start?
So, can you tell me a little bit of your background, like what your upbringing was like?
Yeah, sure. So I guess it starts with my parents being divorced, probably like when I was like 3, maybe even 4, somewhere around there. It was me and my sister. She is a few years older, and I don't really quite remember it. I guess like when you get told a story enough times that like things like I guess like I painted a picture in my head of what that could look like at the time because I've heard enough stories from various people and I've kind of pieced together my version of things that happened. Um, so I'm originally from Nashville and I after the divorce I lived in Nashville for a while. And I moved to Knoxville because my dad met a lady on AOL actually in an AOL chat room.
I remember those AOL chat rooms.
Oh yeah, and he met her and we moved to Knoxville because she owned a business up there. Excuse me. And so we moved to Knoxville, and I was then going into 3rd grade, and I guess the first like major traumatic thing that I can remember, I guess this is important, was the summer of us moving in, like going from Nashville to Knoxville. And uh, and it was weird because like we were at my mom's house in Nashville, and it was my mom and all of her friends were there. And like she's had the same group of friends like my whole life since they were in high school. Anyway, I remember like she had this surround sound stereo blasting some kind of sad music and she's crying. I don't know what's going on really. I'm like 7 years old. And all of her friends were there and my dad pulls up with his new girlfriend and we're gonna move to Knoxville. So he came and picked us up, and like I remember my dad gets out of the car and his girlfriend Rachel gets out of the car and my mom's friends like storm out of the house and like one of them yelled. I remember one of them was yelling, "You better get your fucking ass back in the car." I don't know if I could cuss, but is cussing okay?
I've definitely cussed before.
Okay. But yeah, it was, you get your effing ass back in the car. A lot of threats were made, but like, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember anything. I mean, nothing went down or anything like that. There's just a bunch of crying and hollering. And I get back, me and my sister get in the car and we moved to Knoxville. They got married quick though, my dad and my ex stepmom now, but they got married when I was, like I said, in 3rd grade. So from 3rd grade to sophomore year, about sophomore year, they were married for that long. So from about, I'd say probably 7 or 8 to 15, they were married. And we lived in Knoxville, and that was okay. Some things were good. There was a lot of bad stuff that happened. First of all, my dad's great.
Yeah.
Best person ever. I mean, without my dad, I don't know. I definitely wouldn't be alive. That's a fact. My mom tries. We don't have a great relationship. I wouldn't say it's currently bad by any means. It's just very forced, if I'm being quite honest. Growing up, we... Can I pause for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I don't know. I want to talk about this, but I don't know how to talk about this, and I'm afraid that I don't know why she would. I'm afraid my mom would find this, because I don't want my mom finding out what I'm about to say.
I gotcha.
I'll be happy to talk to you about it.
Yeah, 100%. If you don't want to talk on camera about it, that's totally up to you.
There's a lot of abuse that happened. It's really what it boiled down to.
May I interject for a moment and relate a bit with my own personal story?
100%.
So my parents also divorced when I was about 3 or 4 years old. And there was a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
Some of my earliest childhood memories were literally the night my dad left and them screaming at each other, and then arguments were fairly common in the years after, when my dad would come pick me up and stuff. My parents also remarried when I was around 7, 8 years old.
So weird.
And there was abuse within my mom's household as well. Lots of emotional neglect. I grew up with a lot of stuff like that within my family in general on my mom's side, because we lived in this narcissistic family system.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really accountability for the things that happened to me. And I was also taught, nice, my dog kicking the tripod. I was also taught that I'm not allowed to express how I feel about how things are happening. I was threatened with a belt and things like that if I were to speak up or display any kind of emotion that challenged what was happening within the household and within the family. And I'm not saying any of this to pressure you to talk about anything. I just want to say that for me personally, it has been very empowering learning how to acknowledge what happened to me, even on a public platform, because that fear is no longer controlling my voice.
Yeah.
It's no longer controlling my thoughts.
Right.
And it's no longer controlling my feelings. And it's been a big part of my healing process.
I appreciate you sharing that with me.
Yeah. And again, I'm not pressuring you to talk.
No.
I'm just sharing how it has been beneficial for me. We all heal on our own time. And we can even change the subject if that is what you feel comfortable with.
I'll say it like this. There was a lot of things. So here, let me start off like this. I think it's proper that I should say that there's a song lyric, and it's by Noah Khan, actually. And it was something along the lines of and I'm still angry at my parents for what their parents did to them. And I understand, especially doing a lot of reflection about this, that the way my mom grew up was super chaotic.
Yeah.
Super chaotic. I'm not going to go into too much detail out of respect for her life and her personal information.
Yeah.
But she, she was raised by for the most part, raised by a single parent that was very, my grandma was the type of person that loved her to death, but she could be chaotic at times.
Yeah.
And didn't really give my mom the space to be able to become a person that is capable of being without mistake, I guess maybe is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So that being said, that's not to dismiss anything that's just understanding that parents are people too.
Empathy and compassion. You recognize that they are also people with trauma.
Exactly.
Dealing with it the way that they're
yeah.
taught to deal with it. And the fact that you recognize that shows that you're breaking generational curses. How do you think it has affected you, and how are you overcoming it?
So mental health in general has affected a lot of my life. I've been diagnosed with bipolar and PTSD in the past. I don't really think bipolar is necessarily a proper diagnosis. Is silly dog.
I can relate with you so much.
I've been in inpatient situations before with you have a doctor that comes and talks to you for a couple of minutes, looks at a piece of paper, and literally 3 questions later diagnoses you with something that could potentially change the way your treatment goes, because then they give you medicines for things that you don't have.
Absolutely.
It makes things worse. Yeah, exactly. Over 3 questions and a face-to-face, and that's a whole different part of the conversation on how I feel about the current situation and how that's ran. But
it's so funny because before you messaged me asking if I wanted to work on this today, the episode that I was going to record this week was talking about my hospitalizations, how my diagnosis is, and these boxes that they tried to put me in and place me on medicine. They just deem me as broken and unredeemable, unfixable.
You ever have a time in your life where you start to believe that after a while because it's all that they tell you?
Yeah, and I destroyed myself for a very long time because of it.
Yeah, so I'm not too far off of that. Not in a situation where I'm not suicidal by any means. I'm just God, if you could tell me tomorrow that everything, I wouldn't have all this depression and anxieties and stuff that I have, and that I don't know, if you could tell me that life didn't have to feel that way, I would, whatever we could do to make that happen, let's do it,
Yeah.
But I don't think, no, I know a lot about mental health as far as the psychiatry of it, really. My dad and current stepmom are both psych majors, so
yeah,
I know a lot about the actual study of it. And that being said, I just don't feel like I have bipolar.
I don't feel like I do either.
I just don't think it's proper.
Because you have emotions, you have human emotions, to hard things that you've been through.
Yeah, if I had kind of told my story more linear, there's so many, I wouldn't say that there's oh, poor pitiful me, there's so many things that have happened to me, this is why I have these problems, but I think it makes sense.
It does. I mean, trauma quite literally alters your brain chemistry.
I'd be interested to see what my brain, if you took a picture of my brain after I went, what that would look like.
Right.
If it would look like, they've done studies on sports players that have had CTE.
Yeah.
And their brain looks like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
There's literally holes in it. And I wondered that if prolonged, and they say that it could be possible that prolonged trauma like that
100%.
can do that.
I mean, DID, dissociative identity disorder. It used to
I've heard of it. I'm not too familiar.
It used to be multiple personality disorder.
Gotcha.
So that is a disorder that is literally created, your personality fragments because of repeated, significant, severe childhood trauma. It is literally a coping mechanism that your brain does to protect itself from the trauma that it's enduring. Right. I mean, you literally have they call it multiple personalities because you have these different identities within yourself to compartmentalize the things that you go through.
Is that the and I'm completely sorry if I'm wrong about this one. I think I saw a video one time where it was like, I don't know if it's the same thing where they have like altars. They have like different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
DID.
Okay. There's a YouTube channel called SBSK.
I love that channel.
Yeah.
I love what he's doing. I've seen a lot of their
That
videos.
stuff, yeah. So I guess we can go back to more of how I grew up if you'd like.
So
you tell me.
I want to get a little bit into, you said that there have been strange things happening since your grandmother died. Was it your mom's mom that passed away?
So she died, that grandma died 3 years ago.
Gotcha. So it's
a little over 3.5
years
years ago, I should say.
So it's a different grandmother.
Yeah, the grandma I'm referring to was my dad's mom.
Gotcha.
And she passed pretty unexpectedly back in March. Yeah. And that was the hardest thing. I thought I'd been through a lot up until that point. And on paper, I guess maybe I have, but like that was the hardest week of my entire life, and probably the main cause of me kind of going into what I'm like currently experiencing of like a lot of isolation, a lot of like feeling like, I wouldn't say hopeless, but just a good solid depression.
Right.
You know, like it just made everything. She was the glue of the family. So like after she went, it just
kind of like a motherly figure.
Oh, definitely. She was, before we started filming, we were talking, you had mentioned something about what was the term you used? It was, what's that term? Love, but it's like an unconditional love.
Unconditional love, yeah.
Yeah. She was the person like that showed me that. Yeah. So
it kind of feels like you don't really have that.
So yeah, I would call her. She lives a few hours away, and like the last few years, I didn't really go see her much.
Right.
That's on me. No reason. I just not a big like. I'm not the one that likes to go to family get-togethers a whole lot, and that was the time that it would make sense to see them. You know, Christmas, Thanksgiving, things like that. But yeah, I could talk about that day if you'd like.
Yeah, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I was literally sitting there on my couch in my living room playing my guitar, and I get a phone call. It's like 10 a.m. It's on a Monday, I believe it was. And my dad, who is a teacher, he's a special education teacher, he calls me, and it's in March, right? So it would have been school, right? I'm like, that's my dad calling me. My dad's love you, Dad, but you're a horrible communicator when it comes to calling and texting. But it's all good. So he calls me, and I'm like, this is weird. It's like 10 a.m. You should be at work. And I answer it, and I can hear he had his window down, and he had me on Bluetooth on his car talking to me. I hear the wind flipping in the background, and he goes, I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? He goes, well, what are you doing? I said, I was just sitting here on the couch playing guitar. He goes, okay, so you're sitting down? I said, yeah. He goes, well, I'm on the way right now. I just left work. Steph and Eva, who's my sister and stepmom, she said they're going to be on their way, but your grandma fell this morning, I think is what he said. And she fell, and she's on her way to the hospital. And maybe he said a few other things. I'm not quite sure. That part was kind of a blur, but he goes, it's not looking too good. And I think I think during that few-minute phone call, I made him tell me like what had actually happened, and she had a brain aneurysm. She woke up one morning and fell on her face. Yeah, it was weird.
How old was she?
I gonna do an educated guess. I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize.
83, I think.
83?
I think so. Yeah, it definitely was early 80s.
Yeah.
And I should know that, but there was so much that like I had to ask. I had to ask my dad what her middle name was. You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, to her, I called her Shusher.
Right.
You know, like who's Linda? You know, like Linda who?
Right.
No, to me, she was my Shusher. That was what my sister called her because she couldn't say grandma, so I came out Shusher. You know how kids are. So yeah, they all get there, and he goes, I think this was, they all drive up there a few hours away up and towards East Tennessee. And I said, well, just let me know what's going on. You know, I want to add this in there because I think it's important. She was like my favorite person in the world.
Yeah.
Like number one.
What was your favorite thing about her?
She never gave up on me. That's easy. Yeah, that's super easy. A lot of people have given up on me, and probably rightfully so at some points. But yeah, she never gave up on me, and that was, I mean, all the way up till the end. I talked to her probably 2 weeks before she died. And what was funny is that we talked for like an hour and a half on the phone.
Yeah.
And she literally goes, "Sweetheart, I gotta get off here." She goes, "We've been talking for over an hour. I gotta go put on my oxygen." She had a little oxygen tank. But yeah, she was the best. She passed that night, and you know, honestly, they had that was probably like, even if she would have survived it, like what kind of quality of life is that? That's the way I looked at it.
Right.
Like you've lived a long life.
Yeah.
There ain't no sense in like being on a machine or needing assistance for like yeah, it's cool. You know, I can swallow that part of it. You know.
Okay, I was about to ask, how are you processing the grief?
I don't think I am, because some things happened that week that are very prevalent to kind of how I've been feeling.
Yeah.
It was weird because we're all at my grandma and granddad's house, and it was like me and my dad, my cousin, my aunt, my sister and stepmom, and my other sister, and my granddad, obviously. And we're all sitting there, and like the second day, it was like I got there that afternoon. Everything was fine the first day, and then the next day, some of them are out getting coffee or breakfast or whatever. Some are still asleep, and it's just me and my granddad sitting in the living room. And I don't know where this came from, but they've been married for 60 plus years, right? Like that's just that she was again the glue. So like, I don't know why this happened, but it happened. He proceeded to start pretty much saying how, I guess what was on his mind, and making me feel like I was about 2 inches tall, asking me when I was going to get things together, asking me, you know, they're really telling me all these things. I'm just letting him vent. He's pretty much, I'm not going to go into detail about that because I don't think it's too important, but like, he said some things that genuinely, like really genuinely just crushed me.
Right.
And one of the things that he said is, he looked at me, he said, despite what your grandma told you, she and I gave up on you a long time ago. And I looked at him, and it was like one of the first times during this, like, while he's just going off on me, I just looked at him and said, that's not true. I'm like, I'm not going to believe that. And I did tell him, I said, well, I'm sorry. I said, but it's not fair about one thing. He goes, oh yeah, what's that? I said, well, you want to put me in a box, and I'm sorry I don't fit that box that you think is best suited for me. And he goes, well, you're right about one thing. I said, what's that? He goes, that's not fair. And that was the end of it.
I'm glad you stood up for yourself, because
it's wild.
You realize he's just projecting his own pain.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he's so old school, like completely like like just completely old school Southern man that, doesn't know how to process his own emotions.
People that hurt other people.
Exactly. Hurt people. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
100%.
And you said that you've been noticing a bunch of strange things since her passing. May I ask you what those are?
Are you talking about
like we were talking about the signs? I mentioned
like shape-shifting and stuff?
No, I mentioned like my dragonfly that I have, my little good fortune dragonfly that showed up.
We called her Bird, was the nickname I gave her. Because she kind of got a little frail towards the end.
Yeah.
As old people do, kind of. But she also, I don't know why, but she would take a shower or a bath and she'd say, I'm going to go take a bird bath, So I just started calling her Bird. And her theme for her funeral, it was on her, I guess, card or whatever, with the dates on it and all that picture or whatever. It's a cardinal. And apparently, my roommate was telling me that it's a big thing to see cardinals, that has a lot of attachment to people and, people trying to see you after they've passed and everything. I had no idea. In fact, I'm kind of maybe a little, selfish in a sense where when I saw that card and it had a cardinal on it, I was like, oh, maybe they did it because I called her Bird, and that kind of other people picked up on that, so I was like, maybe they just put a bird on there because that's what it was. So happens a lot when I'm driving, because when I'm driving, I can keep my hands busy, listen to my GPS, but kind of tune my mind out just enough. Yeah, right. Where I'm I'm not going to wreck. I'm fully aware of what's going on, but I'm just in my own world doing my thing, right?
Yeah.
And I swear, that's when it happens a lot. So, I hear songs will happen, and I feel
you're clairaudient too.
What's up? Getting messages from songs and stuff?
Spirits and songs, yeah. But so I'm getting emotional over here because the cardinal is how my mom first started showing up to me. And in a bunch of indigenous cultures, cardinals are some of the most prevalent messengers of the spirit world, representing the presence of your dead loved ones.
Gotcha.
And the day that I really started to realize that the cardinal was my mom, they started showing up everywhere after she died, especially when I was driving, because that was when I was clearing my mind and just in the zone.
Right.
And then back in 2023, I was working at a Firehouse Subs for an owner that took advantage of me, didn't really value me, and I got scheduled on Mother's Day. It was my very first Mother's Day without my mom after losing her.
Yeah.
And I got scheduled.
The anniversary of Suck.
Yeah. We were, so that morning I had just been promoted to shift lead after pretty much working as a shift lead without the title.
Or the pay.
Yeah. And so I went in that morning to open the store. As I'm opening the store, this little cardinal that had been showing up every morning as I opened the store for 2 weeks, tapped along the glass following me that morning as I was opening.
Love that.
And then everything started. We started for the day. We had some kind of freak electrical thing happen. Half of the store lost power. Flipping the breakers didn't work. None of the other stores in the entire strip had an electrical issue. It was literally just us. And I was still taking sandwich orders, just telling them we couldn't steam their sandwiches or toast the bread, and people were okay with that. But my coworkers stopped doing tickets, so they were building up. And I told them that we still have sandwiches to make. I need you guys to get to work. They told me that I'm stressing them out, and I was just like, I'm stressing you out. You're stressing me out. Okay, I'll leave. So I walked out of my job on Mother's Day, and I started processing my grief for the very first time. And it's all because of that cardinal, my mom visiting me and trying to get me to process. And that's when I started noticing more signs and synchronicities everywhere.
Can I ask you something about that?
Yeah.
Do you think it was your mom that shut the power off to your restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
I do.
Okay. I dig that.
I fully do, because I would have pushed through the entire day.
Yeah.
Just
do what you gotta do.
Swallowing my pain if it weren't for that. And, you know, it was my mom trying to get me to feel my emotions and process everything so I could begin my deeper healing journey. And listening to you talk about your grandmother and the things that have unfolded, and you feel like the unconditional love in your life is gone now. Maybe your grandmother is trying to get you to process so you can reach that healing point to realize that the unconditional love does exist, but it has to come from you.
See, I love that, and that's great. I don't know how to get there.
It's hard.
That's the part that's like, I feel like the way my mind works, it's like I could give myself the answer, like I could tell myself the destination, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't tell myself how to get to the destination. Right. Like I know that like I've got to start loving myself, and I'm working on that. I'm trying to like push myself to do things that I wouldn't normally do otherwise, or just try to push myself outside of my comfort zone and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think for me it's a good place to start. Start where you can, I guess.
Absolutely, baby steps.
Yeah. But I mean, it was definitely traumatizing. Definitely caused a lot of, because after my granddad went off on me, I just kind of had to like shove that down.
Yeah.
Put on that face. I ended up telling my dad what he said, but like that was later.
Do you allow yourself to feel your feelings
alone?
But you do allow yourself space to feel them.
I'm trying.
Because
I think I do. So like I don't like doing it in front of others.
You don't have to do it in front of others, but
I'm not like, I've been waking up these last few days, like I'll be honest with you, been like just wake up like crying. Not bawling, but definitely tears. I gotta take a drink.
Totally fun. That's good though, because tears are your medicine. Like whenever we experience trauma and we bottle down these feelings, we have all of this stagnant energy that's toxic for us, stored within our bodies, within our psyches. It hurts our soul.
Oh, for sure.
And crying helps release that. You get a little bit lighter with every cry. You're to feel things is to be human. You're a spiritual being here having a human experience. You came here to feel and experience things. And even those harder emotions like anger and sadness, which are normal parts of the grieving process, have their place and they want to be felt. And the way to release them is by giving them that space to be felt and holding them with love and then allowing them to be let go.
I'll tell you this. One of my coping mechanisms is humor.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's what I use.
Laughter's good for the soul.
I have a dark sense of humor. Not too dark. I don't think like stupid stuff. Like I don't think messed up stuff is funny, but like I'm not afraid to laugh about things, right? I think it's really good. But like I remember she died that night, and so the next morning, my dad died. Well, actually, I woke up and like haven't heard from nobody, and I'm like, "Oh, let me hit up Dad," and he's like, "Sorry, it was a late night. I just woke up. Here's what happened." And I said, "Okay." And I said, "Well, I'll be there this afternoon." And so I start to get ready and everything, and I'm in the shower, and this is the only time in my life it's ever happened. In the shower, and I just start crying, like I'm talking like bawling.
Yeah.
To the point where I actually had to like turn the shower off, and like I obviously I had a toilet beside my shower. Like I put the lid down. I had to sit there for a second, like calm down, and like between like me crying and kind of hyperventilating and the hot steam, I was like, I need to sit. yeah, it was crazy. I just was taking a shower and just out of nowhere. Like, actually, the day of doing it, I felt like I was an autopilot.
Yeah.
I felt pretty numb, which tends to happen to me if I feel overwhelmed. I just kind of
Right.
almost disassociate a little bit.
Yeah.
Numb out, you know. Yeah, it was wild.
So you also said that
It's okay.
I would probably enjoy the conversation of your religious background.
Yeah, it's wild. It is super wild.
I'm super curious.
Yeah.
If you don't mind talking about it.
Yeah, so I had mentioned a while ago that my dad was married to my ex-stepmom, right?
Yeah.
We moved to Knoxville. She is, I want you to guess. I want you to guess what religion she was. I think that's fun.
Oh.
It's decently.
It's a common one?
Decently.
Is it Islam?
No.
No? Is Wiccan?
It's very white.
It's very white.
Yeah, it's very white.
Oh my God. So many of them are white.
Yeah, no. Like, historically, they've had problems
Are
with
they
other...
Mormons?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I was about to say, if you look at the history, they've had problems with other races. And by the way, not me at all.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that part of it, yeah, I found out way later.
No, there is
They don't tell you that.
There are a lot of problems with Mormonism.
Yes.
It's
I
very
have
culty, if you were to ask me.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
It is so culty.
And I should know because I could be a cult leader if I wanted to be.
You could. Absolutely facts. We got a real life Charles Manson over here. So third grade to again, pretty much the whole time they were married. So third grade to sophomore year, went to a Mormon church.
Yeah.
And it was wild. They bait you so bad.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
They bait you so hard.
What are some of the things you experienced? If
do you
don't
want like
sharing.
only the bad, or do you want some of the good? Because like I'm not gonna sit there and tell you that like every experience I ever had was awful, because that's not life, right?
Yeah, that's
like,
not life. Yeah, no. I would like to hear like all of it, the good and the bad of it.
So how I got into it was by default because of living with my dad and stepmom at the time, Rachel. So Rachel was Mormon. That's how her family grew up. So that's how she grew up. And we started going to Mormon church, just like everybody else. There's a lot of common misconceptions. Mm-hmm. Probably, especially now with shows like that I've seen on TV, like the Mormon wives, sister wives or whatever. Yeah. Polygamy, I'm sure, is a part of it somewhere in some realm, circles, whatever you want to call it. But that wasn't how it was at the church I went to. My dad didn't have multiple wives. No, some crazy stuff was, so like, it was weird because how I grew up, like during the week, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, but like I grew up very much being like one of the few white boys around, which is perfectly, love that, cool, whatever. But then like going to church on Sunday where it's like all white.
Right, and they're really white.
And it's super, yeah. Like, hi, my name is, white, that kind of white. The kind of white that like judge you if you don't have a BMW. I hate those people. Super judgmental. But I would go to church on Sundays, and even when I got into high school, I would do what they called seminary, which is kind of like essentially Bible study that you had to go to before school. Mm-hmm. That sucked. And eventually, just one day, I was so sick of it, and I looked at my stepmom. And coincidentally, this was towards the end of their marriage anyway. And I looked at her and said, I'm not going. Yeah. Like, I'm done. But there was a lot of trauma behind that, as far as a lot of fights, older kids like beating that snot out of me. Yeah. I had a bishop who in the Mormon church is kind of, I guess, maybe most people would know it as like the head pastor, if you will, Right. The head motherfucker in charge. No, I'm kidding. No, but he he lived in my neighborhood, and I would mow his yard, and I was middle school age, and like he was very predatorial.
Yikes.
Very predatorial. And I didn't really, I felt like I was wise beyond, wise from age.
Right.
But like, I guess I didn't see that comment. I didn't really pick up on it until I started thinking about this like later in life.
Right. Well, I mean, that's how it is.
Predatorial he was.
So, I mean, when you're a kid, you're incapable of observing and assessing the full situation and the behaviors. I mean, your frontal lobe is not finished developing until your mid-20s.
Yeah,
and that's
25, I think.
Yeah, it's the part of your brain that's responsible for like risk assessment and judgment and all of that good stuff, critical thinking.
So yeah, for like, I'd be mowing and stuff, and like he was an old man, and on one level he was super nice, like super nice.
That's that mask.
Yeah, masks. I love that word. We know all about them.
Yeah.
And he would like then come out and be like, "Well, no, you could take your shirt off if you want to." And it'd be one thing. It'd be one thing if it was like, "Hey, I know it's hot. Like, I want you to be comfortable." Right. If you want to do that, like to make yourself like cooler, I understand. I don't know if it was a one-off mention, cool. Wouldn't think twice about it, right? That's just wouldn't. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But when he mentioned it multiple times, like it was like looking back on like he was trying to plant a seed in my head or something, like trying to be like, oh, I'll be more comfortable and take my shirt off, when it was really to probably his sexual desires, I guess we'll call it.
It really makes you wonder if there are victims.
Oh, there is. There's a whole.
Has he ever?
Not about him. I don't know. The funny thing is that I can't tell you a name. I'm sure you'll agree with this with trauma. At least the way my brain works. It's harder to recall a lot of stuff.
Yeah, especially
names like that,
and especially like sexual trauma. I mean, I have a lot of that.
I do too.
I have a lot of very hazy memories from that
as well. And like that happened on and off for a few years.
I'm really sorry you had to go through that.
That's not even the worst of it.
Yeah.
That as far as the things that happened with him, like he never touched me. He never did.
Right.
Like he just like. It was probably inappropriate. Not probably, it was for him doing what he did. And maybe this is wrong for me saying this because I'm not trying to justify anything. And this is going to sound like I am, but maybe he didn't mean anything by it. I don't know.
Right.
Like, I can only be hopeful that wasn't the case. But there was definitely, like, I'm not trying to, like, make myself a victim by any means, but it's just things that happened that would make me very uncomfortable. And it was a type of church that, especially if you weren't born into it, you weren't fully accepted. You were like, almost like what do they call it in Harry Potter, where like you're like only half of your parents are magical. A muggle. You're a muggle, right?
No, half-blood.
Half-blood,
Muggles are the normal people.
That's them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was a half-blood in the Mormon world, and it was crazy because like you start to pick up on things. Yeah. Especially the older you get, right? When you're young, you don't ask too many questions. Monkey see, monkey do, right?
Yeah.
Follow your parents' lead and you trust their decisions. I started asking questions in Sunday school. That's how I learn. If I'm going to be learning about things, I'm going to be asking questions to make sure that like I'm retaining what I'm learning, right? That's how I learn. And I asked them a question and they wouldn't like the question and they would just kick me out. And this would happen week after week. And
how dare you question us?
Exactly. Like, and not even like inappropriate, like, haha, you said bud, haha. No, it was like, hey, I remember one time we were asking about prayer.
Right.
And I asked them, how do you know when your prayer's answered?
You're asking too many questions.
That's like you teaching me about plumbing, and then I'm like, well, where's the water come from? You know, like, come on.
That's the thing with a lot of religions is stupid. You are trained to not question. You're not supposed to question anything. You just what you're told is what everything is.
I think people don't ask enough questions, and I think that's a lot of problems.
I can't remember the full thing, but I remember the second half of it. I heard something a couple of days ago, and it was the soul asks questions. So like your spirit, if you're a spiritual person, I mean, we're all spiritual beings, but you should always be questioning.
Oh, absolutely.
You should be questioning everything. And, you know, curiosity is how you learn. It's how you grow. And that's one reason why the world is the way it is because people have lost that sense of curiosity. We are all about judgment, do as you're told, do as we program you, instead of asking questions, finding your own perspective, figuring out who you are, what you believe.
I don't know if this is, I want to say one more thing about the religious part that I thought was pretty stupid.
Yeah.
And then I'll mention a few good things, just to not completely like shit all over the religion. And it's that, like, once I found out there's a thing that Mormons believe called the 3 levels of heaven. Yeah. Maybe it has more of a proper name. It's been forever since I've studied this stuff. But essentially it's 3 levels of heaven.
Okay.
And what they do is they say the Mormons, if you are baptized as a Mormon, you'll be, I think they call it the celestial kingdom, I believe is the term that they use. And that's like the top level of heaven. VIP table service, baby, bottles up, you know, we're at the top. No, but then you got like levels 2 and 1, I guess. I don't know what they're called. But those are for people that are not Mormons. And they're essentially saying, oh, and there's no hell, there's outer darkness. Yeah, it's confusing. And not really, but it's stupid. And then, so here's where it gets tricky. They tell you that unless your family is also born Mormon, they will not be in the celestial kingdom with you. So you won't be with your family when you die. Really just warms your heart when you think about it, right? Afterlife, you want to be with your loved ones? Nope, not happening. Here's how they get away with it. They do something at these Mormon temples, and they're placed all over the country, where you go and they do baptisms for the dead. So you literally are, let's say Bob Smith's your uncle, and it could be for strangers too. They do strangers all the time. But let's say Bob Smith's, you know, the person that needs to be baptized as a Mormon to get into that celestial kingdom. Your body's going to be used to be baptized under the name Bob Smith. And they're going to even be like, you know, I'm not exactly sure how that process works because I've never been. My sister has, and it's wild. And the other last thing that I think is hilarious is that you can also be married inside the Mormon church.
Okay.
Both of you have to be Mormon. And then you receive what's called I don't know what the official name is. My dad always called them holy drawers. Because they literally are like holy undergarments, okay?
Oh my gosh.
So like, imagine like, especially nowadays, I don't know how the hell they get away with this because like guys wear like 5-inch inseam shorts. Yeah. And these like, essentially they're all white, women and men's, and like the men have to wear like the white undershirt. Looks like a Fruit of the Loom Hanes undershirt, and then the underwear are like the longest, most saggy boxer briefs you've ever seen in your entire life, and they literally like will hang down to your kneecaps. So unless they have changed, and maybe they've changed the design, but this is the way it was when I was a kid. And I can imagine like you would like go play basketball on Wednesdays and like see the elders like holy undergarments like poking out under their basketball shorts. It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, good thing is that like something that I've chased my whole life is the sense of wanting to just be accepted. Yeah. And have a sense of community and belonging. I think that's pretty normal for
a human
thing.
Desire, yeah.
Very much so. And so like when you have, you know the people that ride the little bicycles and come knock on your door? Yeah. Yeah, those are Mormons.
Yeah, oh yeah. I get them here at my house.
And they mean well, but they're not allowed to drive cars.
Right.
They can get in a car, they just can't drive one. It's crazy. The whole being a missionary thing is wild. But anyway, I got sucked in by two of them because they like played PlayStation with me, and like I didn't have anybody to play. I wanted to play Final Fantasy, and nobody would play Final Fantasy with me.
Oh man.
And so it was like, here. And I think he even like bought me a video game at one point. So they really,
Well, that's nice.
they baked your ass in.
Yeah.
Nah, he meant well. I'm sure he's a great guy. I wish him well. But yeah, it was crazy. It was not an accepting environment.
In the
Judgmental, very.
Talking about that baiting in the witch community, you always be cautious about who you accept gifts from because you don't know what intention is tied to that gift.
Am I allowed to vape?
Yeah, you can. That's fine. What time is it? I keep saying that just because I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to do it either.
Run late and I can't check my phone.
25.
Okay, so
we got 15, 20 minutes.
Well, this has been really nice. And
yeah.
I gotta say, I love how you have just kind of opened up and unfolded throughout this conversation.
Absolutely.
It's a little nerve-wracking at first. I know.
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, you're doing great. And, you know, you want to be accepted and fit in. Accept yourself and your people will find you.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Back to that unconditional love kind of thing again. I mean, I won't bring up, like, how we connected in case you're not ready to share that, but like that's you trying to accept yourself and love yourself and be who you're meant to be. Like I feel like you're on this deep path of you said you've been kind of dealing with this darkness recently. I feel like you're going through the dark night of the soul, which is this time of like intense feelings and pressure. Think of like how diamonds are formed under pressure. You know, you're on this path of self-discovery. Character development takes time and it's not always easy.
If you think about it in a book form, character development usually takes chapters to like build up story.
Yeah.
That's the meat and potatoes of it. I'm in the thick of it.
we're all on our own hero's journey.
Yeah.
We've all been searching for a hero outside of ourselves, and it's time to realize that the hero we've been waiting for is ourselves.
Yeah. I think everybody needs to be more willing to talk and have more meaningful conversations.
Yeah.
Be willing to, I mean, at a certain point you reach a level where it's like, look,
yeah,
your life already sucks. If people are going to judge you, they're going to judge you regardless.
You will never make everybody happy, so you might as well focus on making yourself happy.
Exactly.
And your existence is about you. People will sit there and criticize people who think they're the main character, but you are the main character.
Why waste your energy?
You're the main character of your own life.
Why waste your energy with worrying about what other people are doing?
Right.
As they say, stay in your lane, do your own thing. Don't worry about other people. But see, everybody's going to worry about people to some degree. I think it's human nature.
Well, yeah, because
it goes back to the accepting,
wanting connection. Yeah,
exactly.
But
so vicious.
But how do you make real, genuine connections? By wearing masks, by making yourself small to please others. You will constantly find yourself unhappy with yourself and your life if you are constantly changing who you are to fit in somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Is there anything else you want to know?
I want to know everything, but
I mean, you can ask whatever. I'm kind of an open book.
I'm kind of at a standstill because we've kind of gone over like all of the things that we quickly kind of covered when you first got here.
I'm not close with a lot of family. I have a big heart.
You do have a big heart.
Empath. Love to play guitar. It's probably the only thing that.
Oh yeah, you used to be in a traveling punk. Pop punk band.
Yeah.
What was that like? What was the band's name? If you don't mind saying.
Oh, Lord.
You don't have to.
We'll leave the name out.
What was it like?
It was fun. It was fun. It was a
What's
good
the
time.
craziest thing that happened while you were on tour?
Being broken down in the middle of nowhere, Texas, probably.
Oh man, that sounds like a nightmare.
Really, day to day is just kind of filled with man musk and sweat.
Yeah.
But not a whole lot to do. You kind of feel like, I mean, because you're in the back of a van with like boarded up windows. Like,
Right.
I mean, when you tell people that, hey, I'm like chilling, like you got someone, dude, that's like sleeping about this close to your face. But no. In the grand scheme of things, very fun. Very, very, very good time. I would like, if I could do anything in the world, it would be to do that full time.
You should definitely pursue music. That video that you sent me, you have a great voice. You're very talented.
I appreciate it.
You just put yourself out there. Believe in yourself.
I used to play.
Unconditional love. Know your worth.
You know, like, I remember when I was a teenager, I used to, like, be really into skateboarding.
Yeah.
And they used to have these T-shirts that, like, older dudes would wear, and it said, I used to skate, is what it said. It was just a black shirt, and it said, I used to skate, and I think Volca made it. Anyway, if you know, you know. But that's the way I feel now, where I'm like, well, I used to be cool. I used to do things, and then anxieties and depressions.
You're still cool. You just have to believe it.
I don't, but we're getting there.
Good.
I would like.
I wish. Process.
Oh, very much so. If like you could like the stuff that people tell you, if you could like believe that for yourself.
Yeah.
Or what somebody told me one time is that treat yourself the way you would treat your friends. You wouldn't talk to yourself the way you talk to your friends, would you?
Right.
Hell no. I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, oh, piece of shit. But I would never
say that to
even if they were. Even if like they were genuinely a piece of shit, which never happened, but I'm not going to sit there and call you that, because that's just not something you call somebody. So why are you going to say that about yourself?
And the meaner you are to yourself, like,
it's the power.
The worse things get. Yeah.
Yeah. Start to believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, the power of thought alone, like, I mean, you can, like, I think
you're casting spells.
You could trick yourself into.
You're programming yourself.
Exactly. That's the way I feel about it. It's just like you can unfuck your brain if you want to.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Have you ever, have you ever dabbled in psychedelics?
Yeah, one time.
As like medicine?
No, I just used to have a drug problem, so I used to be just kind of down for whatever.
Gotcha.
I've been off everything since 2015.
That's good. I'm proud of you.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. It's really, really hard to stay sober, get clean and stay sober.
It's not been 100% sobriety, but like I'm off my DOCs, you know, like
that's good.
I don't use drugs as a crutch or like
sobriety is kind of a weird word.
Yeah, you know, I dabble with THC, but that's really it. And it's not even like, it's the Delta stuff you could buy at the store. Yeah. So like, I'm not even like doing anything illegal.
Right. What psychedelic did you?
Oh, acid was my favorite.
Yeah.
Acid was beautiful.
That's been a massive part of my personal healing journey. Yes, I would love to hear.
I was homeless.
Yeah.
And have moved back in with my roommate, who I'm currently living with. This was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was working at a restaurant, and this guy sold me a hit of acid. I thought he had sold me a cut up sheet of printer paper. Is what it looked like. It looked like a little mini,
it was a little blotter paper.
Yeah, a little sandwich bag with like a torn off piece of printer paper is what it looked like. It's like, what the fuck? Did I just spend $20 on a piece of printer paper? Anyway, I don't tell my roommate, because I'm like, I just started living with him again. I don't want him to freak out, like, what, you know, how you feel about acid? Like, I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
And so I take it, and no one told me that I would be up. Like it's almost like a stimulant, right?
Yeah.
Like, it keeps you up. It's
definitely stimulating, yeah.
I was up for 16 hours and had to work the next day.
That must have been some good stuff.
It was great. It took a while.
Yeah.
And I remember about 2 hours after I took it, not quite truly feeling anything. Yeah. And like, I'm outside my balcony smoking a cigarette, talking to a buddy on the phone, and it hit me like out of nowhere. And I said, I'm going to go inside and just kind of like ride this out. And I remember I put on my TV, and I put on, there's a singer-songwriter named Nick Drake.
Nick Drake.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was around, I believe, in the 60s. Didn't get really anywhere. Was signed to a really small label, made a few albums, and then he was a really depressed person.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up killing himself
Oh,
before like he was ever really discovered.
yeah.
And then when file sharing became really prevalent, he got discovered
Right.
like decades after his passing.
So sad how that happens with a lot of artists.
Oh, I know, but
Yeah.
it's like when you listen to this stuff, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like this person, like I believe in music, like you have to experience and feel to be able to like create.
Absolutely.
You can't be like synthetic art is so obvious to me.
Yeah.
I could see through the phoniness so much, and there's so much of it happening all the time with music. It's probably the number one media for like art form that I think is so fabricated.
You're probably also picking up on frequencies because I feel the energetic emotional frequencies of music too.
Like my big thing right now, for example, is like the country's really popular right now, right? So everybody's flocking and wanting to make a country album. That's synthetic, right? That's not true artistry.
Absolutely.
That's you trying to get a bag, get a number one, whatever. Play the game.
I have heard like 30 seconds of a couple of different songs off of Beyonce's country album, and I'm just
it won like nothing against her, but like in one country, I think it won in some award show country album of the year, and I'm just like,
there's no soul to it.
I've never heard any of it, but it just didn't make sense to me because I don't know her to be a country artist.
Right.
But hey, if it's good,
it's just the name.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I kind of figured, but I didn't want to judge too harshly because again, haven't listened to it. But you see a lot of that. I grew up. I heard a lot of people call it code switching.
Yeah.
Kind of putting on that mask in a sense is what it means. Like you're just wanting to fit in and be on the trend train, if you will.
Yep.
And I'm just not with that. But anyway, going back to the acid trip, I listened to Nick Drake all night.
Yeah.
And rubbed a very fuzzy pillow.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was amazing. I just like pushed it up against my face and everything. It was the most beautiful. Like I feel like there's a lot of power in like touch.
Oh,
like
100%.
senses and everything.
100%.
And so like when I had that pillow against my face, I was like, oh.
You're gonna love that fur jacket I sent you a picture of.
Oh yeah.
Those are my party jackets.
I'd be Penny Lane.
Yeah, I'd be like on acid or mushrooms,
just freaking rubbing it.
Oh, feels so good. Rub my jacket.
And I did Molly one time.
Everybody touches it and they're just like, oh my god, that is nice.
That's hilarious. I did Molly like when I was like 19. And
it's technically a psychedelic. I mean, it's like it's like borderline stimulant psychedelic.
It was crazy. I walked in and this girl was literally like on the floor biting the corner of a mattress.
Yikes.
And she like was fine. It was a friend of mine, made sure she was okay, but like she's like, I can't stop chewing. So I gave her bubble gum.
Yeah. The jaw.
Yeah, she was jawing.
That's a stimulant thing. MDMA is not the only substance that'll do.
Well, that. I know, like it's Tennessee. I've seen people on meth, so I know they do it too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is like a cousin to meth. Like it's
a stimulant's a stimulant, though.
Molecules away from it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest though. If we're talking like my drug of choice when I was addicted was
Shadow.
Oxys, and was on that for a little over a year, and went to rehab, did that whole thing. By the way, my opinion about the whole thing is that rehab doesn't necessarily save you.
No.
The detox saves you because it's medical.
Yeah.
And then where the work is done is in NA.
Yeah.
If you don't have a sense of community, NA is great. If you have a good, safe community, you do not need NA. But that's my personal belief.
Yeah. Support.
Support
it all
regardless.
Down to support. Yeah. I mean,
support.
People turn to substances because of unhealed trauma and feeling unsupported.
And that's the one thing that, in my opinion, rehabs don't touch enough.
Yeah.
Especially the one I went to in Nashville. It was, shout out Cumberland Heights.
Yeah.
Great place.
I'm really glad you were able to get clean and you've been able to stay off it.
That was my dad. My dad, he was the man on that one.
Because opiates are a beast.
I called him after spending a holiday alone.
Yeah.
I was living at my mom's house for like a few weeks because I was on drugs and kind of couch bouncing.
Yeah.
And was living with my mom in Mississippi. Great state.
Yeah.
And yeah, like they all left and went to like a friend of the family's like get together for Thanksgiving, and I never got invited. Again, I just want to be invited to things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like
yeah.
And so like I took a lot of drugs that day. Like it is what it is. It took like half a liter in liquid Norco, if you know what that is.
I've heard of that.
It's essentially what they give you when you can't swallow pills.
Okay.
So it's essentially like liquid oxys or liquid painkiller.
Gotcha.
You know? It's the same, makes you feel all the liquid opiate, you know.
Right.
And so like 2 tablespoons would be like equal to like 10 milligrams. Fuck the spoon at that point.
Right.
You just got the literally prescription bottle.
Yeah.
And you're just, and I had a family member that took that from, and you know, when you're addicted, you just do stupid things that aren't yourself.
Right.
And I'd gotten to the point where took all the liquid Norco, and then I started doing all these pills, and trigger warning, I started like snorting them, and then I started eating them after that, and I grabbed a pistol or a revolver, and I started like would load up a bullet, and I would snort some more pills. And this was in late November, Thanksgiving of 2015. And I would like load up a bullet in the little revolver. I don't know shit about guns, by the way. And I would load one up and like do more, load another one up, do more.
Right.
And at this point, the thing's loaded. I put the gun in my head and I pulled the trigger. They went click. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means.
That sounds like divine intervention.
That sounds like I'm going to put this gun down and immediately call my dad.
Yeah.
Because it scared the shit out of me. I'll be completely honest with you.
It wasn't your time yet.
That, if it wasn't for that, you know, because I'm obviously just like doing drugs all day, trying to be as high as possible so I feel nothing.
Right.
I mean, why would you want to feel anything? I'm just,
right.
I written my note out, made my peace, and was just numbing out. And it was like the middle of the afternoon. It's sunny outside, birds are chirping. Remember, I had the window open, hearing the outside going off, and just thinking, I'm like, well, fuck it. It's my time, I guess. And yeah, when that happened, it like, I have never been more scared in my life.
Yeah.
And I immediately had dropped the gun, put it back where I had, because it was my stepdad's, and put it back, and I immediately went back to the room that I was in, and I called my dad and said, here's what I've been doing with my life. Here's what I just got done doing. And the very next day, he picked me up. And I would have gone to rehab that day if it wasn't for the fact that like when he picked me up and we got back to Nashville and everything, it was we went ahead and slept that night.
Right.
And we stopped and got some Sonic, went back to his house, and just, I remember watching Big Daddy, and slept in his guest bedroom in the back. And I remember the guest bedroom's on one end of the house. Their bedroom is on the opposite end of the house with a long hallway going down between the 2 rooms. And I remember my bedroom door was open because my dad wanted to like just kind of keep an eye on me and shit. And I had a little TV, and I was watching Big Daddy. Love that movie. And like I fell asleep, and in the middle of the night, I couldn't have been asleep long because the movie was still going, and like I could not breathe.
Yeah. I
literally was like, I shot up and went to go try to sit up, and I couldn't move. I felt paralyzed. I don't know. Yeah. This is so weird. And long story short, I like was trying to scream for help because I couldn't breathe. and I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was it. I'm like, shit. I kind of joke about it when I think about it. I'm like, damn, like I get the help. I'm about to go get help, and then
Right.
like, this is how I go watching freaking Big Daddy. This is some bullshit. No, but I don't know what that was. I've never really talked about that because I chalk it up as like no harm, no foul, right? Like
To me, it sounds like divine intervention. Like
it was wild. Like
it sounds
I was
like,
definitely detoxing.
I feel
When you go 100 to 0, you definitely
Yeah,
going to detox
for
or
sure.
withdraw. I mean, not detox, but definitely go through my withdrawals. I was shaking like I had Parkinson's, and he took me to Cumberland Heights the next day, and yeah, did that whole thing, and then yeah, it was definitely something I'm glad I did. I don't think that I would have called him. Well, obviously, I wouldn't have been able to if the gun didn't click.
Right.
But that was like, holy shit, like, okay, I'm gonna step away, like, because my thing's never been, I've never been arrested, I've never been to jail, I've never been physical with other people, minus outside of like childhood fights that everybody goes through.
Right.
Like I've never been angry at other people. It's just always
turn
been
it inward on yourself.
It's always been internal.
Yeah.
For sure. I was definitely an angry kid growing up.
Me too.
But I think a lot of us that go through a lot of that stuff that we've been through,
we're children and don't understand.
We're like, what the hell is going on?
How to process. Like
how to regulate.
I used to be a bully, and it's because I was dealing with all of this pain that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
I
was a fighter. Through school and everything, I would. I got bullied a lot too, but my thing is that like, this is not braggadocious because I'm a complete pacifist and hate violence. I don't even like watching like UFC or boxing or
same these days.
Yeah, I love wrestling, big WWE fan, but like it's not technically real. Like I can regulate that. But anyway, like I got in a lot of fights because like I was like, screwed, like you're picking on somebody, well, pick on me.
Right.
I guess a bully's bully, I guess, like.
Yeah.
And I also played football, so I just used to just take it out in practice and hit people.
I beat up people that were mean to me.
I did that too. I got expelled one time for that.
People would like verbally abuse me. Like kids would verbally bully me and I would physically hurt them for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of turned into a little She-Hulk.
Yeah, because if they won't listen to me telling them to stop, maybe they'll listen to me if they fear me, because that's the kind of environment that I grew up in, know?
That, like, I kind of grew up around a lot of chaos and violence, and not like, okay, yeah, I have experienced violence, but a lot of chaos, I should say.
I was going to say violence doesn't even necessarily have to be physical.
Yeah.
I mean, after I got spanked with a belt a couple of times, I did not experience that much physical violence. Them just threatening me was enough. That was enough violence for me to obey.
I think for me, the part that hurts the most, and I just have to learn how to, at this point, chalk it up as a loss and move on, is that, like, I can't talk to my mom about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that she has done has made me want to like chase validation and acceptance. And I think everybody just wants to be told like, hey, I'm proud of you. Hey, you're doing a good job. Hey, like, someone just kind of like cheer for you.
People want to be seen and heard.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and valued.
When you isolate yourself because that's what you do. Like, I've isolated for so long that like I don't know how to talk to people mostly. So
yeah,
it's hard for me to like open up because I don't want people to be like, well, what the fuck?
Well, I'm really happy that you came over today and that you have been so willing to open up to me and share and let me record it. Like you've been vulnerable, and that is so brave and courageous. Sure. That's something that a lot of people are incapable of doing. And it says a lot about you as a person that you are able to do that.
Well, I appreciate you. I think everything just starts with the conversation. So
absolutely,
and
100%. And a conversation could change a person's life.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just feeling heard and being seen.
Yeah, and that's what I want to do with this project.
I think you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
You need to keep doing it.
Yeah, you're the first person I've had like a really deep conversation, like mostly dealing with, hardship and how to overcome it.
Oh, there's more
like
too.
Yeah. I would love to hear more, but I know you have that meeting.
Yeah.
What time is it?
What time is it?
Probably a good idea to check.
Yeah. Shit, I got 10 minutes before I got to
Okay, so we should wrap this up. I really
definitely
appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We could totally do another one another time. We could probably even take a break for that and then start a second video and I can piece them together.
Sure.
Either way, I will give my ending just in case. Thank you so much for listening. I am so grateful that you came over.
Thank you.
I'm grateful that you're here.
Thank you.
Your story matters. You are worthy. You are loved. Love yourself. Believe in yourself. You're built for a higher purpose. There's a reason that gun didn't go off. I firmly believe that.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, and I love you so much. I tell everyone that because everybody needs to hear it.
That shit makes my heart happy.
We are all so loved. Even the hard things that we have been through in life are just paving our way for something greater.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I love you too. I'm grateful you're here. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Joey tell his story. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, night, week, month, year, and rest of your life. Stay curious. Gotta go all the way over here to cut it off.